Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for you about what to do when the house of your dreams is beyond the amount that your mortgage company has approved you for. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, please stay tuned. Hi, my name is leilahays and I'm a realtor in the Houston, Texas area, and it is my job to make your family's relocation to Houston as fun and stress-free as possible. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, or if you just want to learn a little bit more about what Houston has to offer, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, let's get started. One of the first things that you will hear almost every real estate agent tell you is that before you start looking at houses, you need to go get your mortgage pre-approval. So there are a couple of different things that sometimes can be really confusing, so let's clear that up for you. The first is pre-approval versus pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is when your mortgage broker takes a look at all of your documentation, runs a quick credit report, and looks at it and says they meet the guidelines. Generally, that's good enough, but sometimes in a competitive market, you need to go one step further and get a pre-approval. A pre-approval is when your mortgage broker sends all of your documentation to the underwriter and gets full credit approval for a maximum amount prior to you looking for a house. So in that case, the only thing you would need to do is find a house, and then your mortgage broker would plug that into your application. So your credit is already approved, your payment's approved, your loan amount is approved. They would just be looking at approving your house. In a competitive market, a pre-approval is typically better. A lot of times, if your offer is strong in a lot of different other areas, a pre-qualification is going to be just fine. When you apply for your mortgage broker is going to take a look at the totality of your financial situation, including your credit, your income, your savings, and take that into account when figuring out a maximum loan amount for you, which therefore would lead to your maximum home budget. Now, whether you are doing a FHA loan with a low down payment or you're putting 20% down all by yourself, that's all going to be taken into account by your mortgage lender. And then once all that's done, you've been pre-qualified or pre-approved, they're going to tell you here is your maximum budget based on all of that information. Unless you tell your real estate agent otherwise, she is typically only going to show you houses that fit within that maximum budget. And oftentimes, especially in a really competitive market like we have right now, she's only going to show you the houses that fit well within your budget, because oftentimes, especially in the Houston area, homes are going for well above the list price. Now, part of that is a strategy by a listing agent to list the house pretty low in order to create something of a bidding war and to raise the price up. So your real estate agent, whenever you decide on a house, she's going to pull what's called a CMA, and that is going to analyze all of your comps, the other houses that have sold in the area that closely match that house, to get a real sense of the actual value of that house and what a competitive offer would be for that house. So let's say that the competitive offer for that house that you want is above your mortgage approval rate. What do? Does that mean you have to walk away? Not necessarily. This is a time where you'll want to be in contact with your mortgage broker. This is one of those things where listing prices sometimes can be a little bit flexing because of the market. I would recommend that you take that value, that estimate that your realtor has provided, and make use of that. Now, the issue that you can come across when it comes to offering more than the list price is the house actually going to have an appraisal that supports that list price? What your mortgage company cares about is that the house appraises at or above the amount of the sales price. That is going to be really what determines if that house is going to be something you can do. There is some risk to putting in an offer on a house that is above your mortgage approval. And here's how you can handle that. There is something called an appraisal contingency. What that means is you put the offer in the house, it's above list price. And what that document does, it's an addendum to the contract. What that document does is say, I'm willing to buy this house as long as it appraises for this amount of money. If it doesn't appraise for at least that amount of money, I'm not going to buy it. And that is your out if for some reason the house doesn't appraise, which means you wouldn't be able to buy it based on your mortgage. If the house doesn't appraise, you're not out of luck. You would just need to make sure that you have enough assets set aside to cover the difference between what your mortgage broker is going to cover for you and the actual sales price. Now be careful with that, because if you're having to use some of your existing assets to pay extra because your mortgage is not going to cover the entire amount that you need, then you'll need to double check on that, because those assets, if they're not there anymore, that may change your mortgage loan approval parameters. One thing I will say is that oftentimes, especially if you are having a FHA or a VA mortgage, they are typically not going to allow you to go above a certain amount. They're not typically going to allow you to offer a significantly higher amount. You're going to want to make sure you stay within that maximum loan approval. There's a lot less flexibility when you're into those kinds of loan programs. If you're in a traditional, conventional loan where it's 20% down, you're gonna have a little bit more flexibility. So before you make any kind of offer that may be above the list price, or where may be above where your real estate agent determines the value of the property to be, make sure that you run all of that information past your mortgage broker, so that you don't fall totally in love with this house and then it turns out that it's just not gonna work out for you. Of course, the safest thing to do is to make sure that the houses that you're looking for are at or below your maximum budget, preferably below in this market, because you are looking at offering above the asking price. For example, I had a property that was listed at $375. When I ran the comparables, that was really low. And that was done on purpose. Eventually, my clients had an offer accepted for much closer to what the market value was, and the appraisal came back and actually was above the sales price of that property. So that's something to be really careful with, and discuss it with your real estate agent and your mortgage broker to make sure that you're not going to get into any trouble. Make sure that the home, the sales price, and your mortgage all fit together, so that you don't run into some surprises or disappointment later on down the line. So today we talked a little bit about what to do when the house that you love may cost you more than your mortgage approval. If you have any questions about your specific situation, make sure that you talk to your own loan officer or real estate agent. If you do not currently have an agent and you're looking to relocate into the Houston area, I would love to help you out. If you have any questions about the process of buying a home and about an appraisal contingency, please leave them in the comments and I will take a look at that and respond to you. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss any of my videos every Thursday at 1 o'clock. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.